Did you know that part of a healing from trauma journey means moving into relationship with all of our feelings, including the difficult ones? Our body is so good at protecting us from feeling hard things. And sometimes that means that we'll rely on less than preferable coping skills, such as dissociation or numbing out with substances or food. And part of stopping that numbing out process means expanding what's called the gradients of our emotional vocabulary and empowering our mind and body to shift into a new relationship with how we express and experience feelings and emotions. That being said, that can feel scary and hard. Our mind and our body are protecting us from feeling difficult things for a reason. And often, when we're living with trauma, our mind and our body live in a swinging polarity of feeling nothing, disconnected, to feeling all the feels all at once, being overwhelmed. And that is exactly why finding that middle ground and being in relationship with all of it is critical. In my book, we explore this in depth. And I wanted to introduce a quick exercise here that you can start to lean into practice what it's like to give a different frame to difficult feelings. Because when we have emotions, it's like our mind and our body is waving a yellow flag at us saying, hey, 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 please pay attention. There's something here for you that's important. Now, remember, our past stays present, especially when it's tied to stressful or painful things, because our brain prioritizes threat data and it remembers threat data extremely well. So those yellow flags may actually matter in the moment, or they could be tied to a trigger from our past. And this is where those gradients of emotions become really powerful. It creates space neurologically for our brain to go, I'm going to explore this. So the first step of the exercise is to acknowledge that a yellow flag is on the field. Something has happened and the brain is saying, please pay attention, particularly our friend Amy, the amygdala. And when we acknowledge that there is some distress or disturbance coming up, immediately we're creating space, because the acknowledgement means that our brain knows we know. And that's a big part of threat, is saying, are you aware this is happening? And if we push that down, our brain's going to get louder and louder in terms of requiring or demanding we bear witness to it. As Dr. Daniel Siegel reminds us, we have to feel it to heal it. So step one, acknowledge that something is happening. Step two is get curious. What is happening? And even ask that emotional state why it's coming up right now. If you're noticing that you're feeling anxious, a gentle inquiry, why am I feeling anxious right now? If you're feeling angry, why am I feeling angry? The beautiful thing about curiosity is it furthers that space and it makes it not personal. It pulls it out of our core so that we can start to investigate and examine the information in front of us. The more space we have, the more opportunity we have for healing in our hands. So first we acknowledge, then we get curious, and then we're actually going to validate that there's something happening and that our brain is giving us a yellow flag for a reason. Remember, our brain always has our back. Its number one priority is our safety and our survival. And so if it's feeling a threat and waving a flag at us, we want to validate that and even say, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you think there's this threat here. And because you've gotten curious about it, you might even have some more information about what the threat is. Perhaps it's somebody trying to cross a boundary that you've set, or perhaps a young part of you is showing up in the moment feeling threatened or nervous. And that part of you wants to be held and cared for, which then takes us to the fourth step, which is release. So acknowledge, get curious, validate, and then we're going to release. And release may look like a couple different things. Of course, we always have that CPR for the amygdala, that wonderful self-healing tool for helping the amygdala know that there's no threat and even delinking whatever caused that yellow flag to come up in the first place. If you're not familiar with that tool, we've linked the playlist down below where you can learn all about how to use it and start using it today. It's also, again, in the book. You can also lean into self compassion to help release. Writing yourself a self compassion letter, recognizing that, oh, there is a very real reason why I'm feeling this way, and doing some journaling in a compassionate way towards the young self that's letting you know that they're feeling threatened or scared can do a lot of healing and shifting in terms of how the brain is making sense of that current moment. Another wonderful opportunity is calling a friend. Yes, phone a friend for support. Simply being seen in our emotions by a safe other in of itself is healing. When we reach out to somebody safe and invite them to hold space for us, our brain loves it. But make sure it's a safe other and that they have the time in that moment to be with you, because otherwise Amy might throw another flag on the play. Do everything you can to ensure that you're creating the space for yourself and your healing journey. And if that person isn't currently available, well, you've got other tools and opportunities, and this YouTube channel is full of them. It is truly an honor being a part of your healing journey. And remember, you truly do hold the power for healing in your hands.